17. Thank you so much for checking out the second episode of my Random A podcast. Random as random can be. That's the podcast, and that's what it's all about. Talking about random stuff. All right, great. First and foremost, let me get this out of the way. Thank you so much for my latest subscribers. Let me give you a shout out. Welcome to the family Tanique, welcome to the family Randine, and welcome to the family Creole Baller 2008. I hope you find the content that I make here productive and informative. Thank you so much. All right, great. Today on my random podcast, I want to talk about two topics. I won't be long. I won't take too much of your time, but I think it's important that two things are discussed today. First, I will start off on a lighter note. It may be lighter, but it is really important. So recently, Jamaica took part in the World Championships in America. Now, all our athletes did well, and we are extremely proud of you guys. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. We know and understand the hard work that it takes to get you to the top of your game and to represent us on such a stage. The ladies did what was expected of them. They performed creditably. They did very well. However, there is one of our athletes who, since her performance in the 4x100 relays, she has been getting a lot of flack about her performance in said relays. Now, the name of this athlete, Miss Kemba Nelson. Miss Kemba Nelson, first and foremost, let me say this. Nemard.net, Mr. Nemard, and everyone who listens to my program and who finds value in what I'm saying on my platform, we wish you all the best. We are proud of you, sister. So, reports are saying that Miss Nelson has been getting a lot of backlash after her performance in the 4x100 meter relays. And let me break it down and explain why this would be a challenge. The challenge is we were expected to, without a doubt, get gold in the female 4x100 relays. Without a doubt, we were expected. The only thing that was in doubt for that relay was, can we break the world record or can we not break the world record? And this is something that you can listen to the way the athletes spoke, especially Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price. On one of her interviews, she said, if we have Sharika Jackson in the finals, expect fireworks, expect us to do well. We are going after the record. Well, she may not have said it word for word, but here on the Little Rock, the expectation was there because we know the depth of talent that the female sprinters bring to the table. They have been performing at such a high level, and we know that they had a lot left in the tank, and we were expecting them to expel all the energies in the 4x1, and if everything came together the way we expected to, without a doubt, we were expecting a new world record 4x100 female. Now, with that on the table, it didn't happen as we expected. Because this is life, it doesn't always go the way you expect it to go. Now, what happened in the 4x100 meter relays? On the baton change from Kemba Smith, changing over to Elaine Thompson Hira, there was a slight miss-up. There was a slight niggle, a slight loss of a couple hundredths of a second. A few milliseconds were lost in that exchange. Now most people now has taken it upon themselves to start bashing the young athlete. And this no right, this wrong. This wrong, people. Things happen. Look at this. For over the years, Jamaica has been at the pinnacle when it comes to relays. We have so many relays that we run in Jamaica. It's like second nature to many of us. So the expectation is, over the years when we had relays and America was messing up their relays and we are cruising through the relays, we have to understand that the American athletes have stepped up their game. They are now drilling relays into their athletes. They are now drilling turnovers into their athletes. So the playing field in some instances has become more level. We don't have that distinct advantage anymore that we used to have a couple of years ago, where we know is almost a guarantee that both the female 4x100 meter American team are going to drop the baton and the male 4x100 meter American team is going to drop the baton. That is not how it is anymore. We have assembled one of the strongest teams you can put together on a 4x100 meter field. Strongest in history. 3 of the fastest women in the world are in that 4x100 meter. The fastest women in the world were running that 4x1. And we still had hiccups, and the Americans capitalized. The Americans capitalized as they should. This is a competition, and we have to understand that these things do happen. These things do happen. Now, back to Miss Kemba Nelson, who I am sure has put in a lot of work into her sprinting, into her talent, bringing her talent to the forefront, performing the way that it is expected of her. I believe it is unfair to have the young lady having to delete her Twitter account because Jamaicans are bashing her. When it comes to sprinting, I understand that Jamaicans are passionate. We're passionate bad, right? We weren't afraid to burn out Asafa Powell. We weren't afraid to burn out Usain Bolt when he wasn't doing well. Whoever you are, once you have reached to the pinnacle as a Jamaican, you're expected to be there. You're not expected to have a bad day. Remember, we beat Johan Blake until he basically, you could see the heart go out of him. He didn't have it anymore for the racing. There are so many good, talented athletes. Dexter Lee, where is he? There are so many good athletes out there that have crumbled under the pressure of the expectation of the Jamaican community. Trust me, straight up, we're heartless when it comes to that. And once again, I do not think it is fair for the young lady to be bashed in such a way. Now, here's my thing though, and this is just my analogy, just how I feel. I believe that that incident, that mix-up, cost us the gold. I am fine saying that. I think it cost us the gold. It gave Jacko Sharika just a little bit too much to do. If the race was going for 5 meters more, we would have got the goal without doubt. However, things happen, right? And I believe, my personal view is that I thought we would have used Miss Williams, Brianna Williams, in the opening on the first leg. But I think what the team was going for was actually the record, because Kemba is faster than Brianna. Kemba has shown that she is faster than Brianna, and for that reason, I believe that they were taking a gamble. Brianna may have practiced more with the team based on the fact that she is training in Jamaica like the rest of the guys, whereas Kemba Smith trains in the United States. So Brianna would have had more practice with the team than Kemba Nelson. And this might have been what showed itself in that little mishap incident. Things happen. Whatever happened for that split second, it happened. I think, though, it is unfair, and this is how we can destroy the future of a great sprinter. I believe she has it within her to become a great sprinter for the country. And the challenge we have in Jamaica is that once we see where our athletes transition into the American collegiate system, they are almost forgotten. They're almost forgotten. You know, we pay attention to the guys who go to MVP, the guys who go to all the coaching camps that we have in Jamaica, and we kind of forget the guys that are competing on the American collegiate circuit. This lady had to delete her Twitter because of something that obviously she didn't intentionally do it. It's not her intention, but things happen. And I will say this to this young lady, Miss Nelson, keep your head up. If it means you have to be off social media for a while, use that time to perfect your craft. Use that time to perfect your craft and understand that you are in the top 0.001% of people. You have competed in the World Championships, which is something that 99.999% of us will never get the opportunity to do. You have represented your country. You have brought your country a silver medal. We are proud of you. Once you become a national icon, once you are on the international stage, there will be people who feel that it is okay to say what they feel like to you. I mean, some of the things I see being said about the young lady, how can you be telling the young lady about her mother? Seriously, people? You not think you're better than that? You not think we can do better than that? How about appreciating the young lady? I can never... Here's the thing. I have gained great respect for every sprinter that runs for the country or is on a sprinting journey, who is in a training camp, because I saw what Usain Bolt did. I saw Usain Bolt, that same big belly person who can run from here to over there, coaching the fastest man alive and saying to him, say, you do this. I see where this young man threw up You understand? Run until he's physically broken. He fell on the ground. He's there trembling. He's there going through whatever he's going through to fulfill his dream. And this is what I believe so many of the athletes go through to reach to the level that they are at. But how many of us appreciate that? We kick back here as keyboard warrior and we act as if we are the coach. Yes, I would have loved to see Jamaica bring gold. I would have loved to see that. But I also understand that things happen. Things happen. I just saw it go. I mean, look at this. For the past couple of years, we have had Usain Bolt dominating in the sprints. Do you know how many American sprinters he has, and I won't say stifled, he has outshone? He has outshone so many American athletes and international athletes. Do you believe that he is doing so much more work than they were? We know that in Jamaica, Justin Gatlin was the one that we actually didn't like. Was it Gatlin? Okay. We liked Tyson Gay because he was humble and all of that. And we didn't like Justin Gatlin because he was brash and sassy. And yeah, okay, good. I've got the names correct. We in Jamaica couldn't stand Justin Gatlin because we believed him too brash and all of that. Do you really believe that he didn't have to go through all of that rough training? Do you believe that Usain Bolt was unique in the amount of training he went through? No. There's a thing called natural talent. He had the natural talent and the dedication maybe over many of the other athletes to get where he got. It takes a lot. That's all I'm saying. So people, straight up, leave Kemba Smith alone. Allow the young lady. Trust me. At the end of the day, I believe she may at this point be blaming herself more than even we are blaming her. She knows that there was a slight mix-up. I believe she thinks that she is responsible for this slight mix-up. And I believe that she may be hard on herself as well. People, when they go hard on themselves, they can lose hope. They can start to feel less than because you don't have the support of the people who are supposed to be supporting you regardless of what you're going through. Your country folk are the people that should be supporting you. They should be saying, look, miss, yeah, we understand, but next time, come back next time and show them. When Usain Bolt went to the first Olympics, or was it World Championship as 17-year-old, he was pushed aside. He didn't perform. And because of the performances that he was doing while he was in Jamaica, we bash him. Nobody is immune to Jamaican bashing when it comes to sprint, when it comes to performing and representing the country. Nobody. So, Miss Smith, keep your head up. I keep saying Miss Smith. I may be destroying your name. So I will say your first name, Kemba. Back to the drawing board, back to training, back to keeping your focus right where it should be on perfecting your craft. You now know what it is to medal and yet feel unappreciated. That is not a nice place to be. You have brought us a medal and you feel unappreciated. What more could we want? What most of us want is for you to continue to perfect your craft, back to the drawing board, and come back next year or next season better. And not only for your performance, we need your confidence to be back up there. You can't allow naysayers to destroy what you have put so much work into. So, with that being said, here is me just trying to give you some encouragement. Obviously, you may never see this video, but however, just know that Jamaicans out here appreciate you and love the fact that you made the sacrifice to support, to represent, and you brought us a medal. We are grateful. We are thankful. Good. All right, good. Now to my second topic. Which I said I wanted to speak about. And this is for gentlemen. Gentlemen. Mr. Good Guy, understand this. You are being bred out of the gene pool. You are being bred out of the gene pool. All right? Now, that may sound like a controversial statement, but allow me to elaborate. Outside of religion and your Christian thinking, here is one thing that is for sure. The aim of any species is to have the genes, the best genes, right? The most resilient and most diverse genes to go over into the next generation. If we can agree on that, then we can also say the success of a species is dependent on the genes that go into the next generation. Good. I'm getting there now. I'm giving you the understanding of what I'm trying to say. All right, cool. Also, women decide whose genes go into the next generation. So I've said 3 statements so far which are true. Women decide whose genes go into the next generation. And this is coming from the context that I'm saying, the good guys, you're being bred out of the gene pool. All right, fine. Not gonna make sense yet, but give me a second for you explain. Allow me now, man.
Emotional, damn it.
Allow me now, man. All right, cool. Now, if you're growing up, while growing up, you're told to be nice, to be honest, to be caring, to be understanding, to be loving, and you will be more appealing to the opposite sex. I'm speaking to gentlemen and what would put you in a better position to attract females. So you're told growing up, be nice, caring, loving, and all of that good stuff. All right, good. Yes, be those. Be those. Right? If this is you and this is your personality, do not change your personality solely for the chance of attracting 10, 15, 16, 100 ladies to your table when you go to the party. If you're a nice person, be genuinely nice, but however, understand that in everything, there must be a balance. There is a time and a place for everything. So you can be nice, loving, and all of that, but there must be a balance. You can be other things. You can be firm and demanding and have your standards set and not settle for what will not benefit you. Good. Now, here's a thing that I believe, here's a series of questions that I believe every gentleman who is interested in starting a serious relationship with a young lady should have. And the questions go like this. Speaking to a young lady, you can say to her, 1, how long were you and your ex together? Right? Then use 3 words to describe your ex. What was this person like? What's your ex like? 3 words to describe your ex. Right? Now, Use 3 words to describe the man that you want. And here's where the challenge will come in. The challenge is going to come in. That so many women will say that my ex was all of the bad stuff. Worst man ever. Might have 2-3 kids for him. He's the worst man ever. He was controlling. He was this, he was that. He was all of these things. And yet, she may have been with him for 3-4 years. No, the question will be asking, how long have you known the type of man that you wanted? The type of person you wanted to spend the rest of your life with? How long have you known that this is the type of person you want? So, it ties back into what I've been saying. Many women say they want a particular type of person, but the actions do not compute. The no good, good for nothing, abusive, controlling, man with no respect, who don't have anything about them. Many of these men have 10, 15, 16 kids by these same women who say they want Mr. Good Guy. Now, this is where I want to try to make sense of it. These Mr. Wrongs are having children left, right, and center, creating single moms everywhere they go. And each and every one of these single moms will say to you, the type of man I want is this upstanding gentleman, this type of person. Now, where were those decision-making skills when Mr. Wrong was doing his thing? So, you, Mr. Good Guy, you sit there, you're waiting, you're being the most chivalrous young man there is, and you're being friend-zoned left, right, and center.
Something all right. Something all right, yeah.
You are being friend-zoned left, right, and center, and all of the men who you see as not being chivalrous, not being nice, not being friendly, not being kind to the women are outproducing you. Now, understand, as I mentioned before, we may think we are special. However, the world on a whole does not care about you individually. Survival of the fittest is a thing. No, if Mr. Wrong is outproducing you, that means he is the one who is having more of his genes in the next gene, remain in the gene pool, 15-1, because when you have 2 kids, all of the bad boys that you know have 5, 6, 7, 8 running around. Regardless, they have successfully done what is a major part of the human existence on a wider scale than you have. So, in the next generation, what happens now is more and more of the sons and daughters of these no good men are running around, leaving less and less of the sons and daughters of you upstanding men to counter, to balance the equation. So you are being outbred 15-1. So in the next 10 years, the good guy personality versus the bad guy personality is lopsided. Most people are here, bad person, and a few people are down here as being good. And here comes the rain. So basically what I'm saying is, we may think we want something, but that is not what attracts us. We may think that what we want is X or Y, but we are not attracted to X or Y. Many women say that they want this particular type of man, But that type of man does not attract them. That particular type of man approaches them on a daily, but there is always something. There's always a reason why she cannot entertain him. And Mr. Wrong is over there just sitting by, and she can't help herself. She has to run to him. This happens on the male side as well. Some men focus on getting yourself to the level where you are one, seen as more appealing to a better quality of women. And this is even another conversation, because it comes down as well to the quality of women that are producing for these Mr. Wrongs, because we have some Miss Wrongs in the system as well. We have some Miss Wrongs who have 15, 16 kids in tow and no baby father. So these are the people who are out producing the people who are stand-up, who are decent, who try to do the right thing or try to do it the right way. So we are being outproduced by the people who may not have it within themselves or may not have an intention of sitting and raising a child properly the way the child should be raised. And they are outproducing us. So why are we surprised when we have kids who untrained, no home training, no respect for anyone, doesn't have a father figure in their life because daddy gone, because of course daddy was one of the bad guys, the worst guys in the world. He had no intention of sticking around, because deep down your genes going into the next generation does not mean you have to stick around. And this is being proven over and over by the amount of single mothers can't find the father for them kids. This is a proof we have. So many of our households are headed by single mothers. This has been happening for possibly in the 80s. And it has been shown, based on our experience as human beings, that this may not be the right way to do things. Are we trying to change? Are we trying to make things better for ourselves? Are we trying to make things better for our kids? Are our fathers continuing to be active in the life of their kids? And on a personal scale, what are you doing? How are you treating your kids? What are you, and I'm talking to you young men, what are you doing to ensure that your kids don't fall into the drain, into the gutter that is driving so many of the kids in the same wrong direction? Are you being present in your kids' life? Do you think you need to be active in your kids' life? Well, I can answer that question for you. You need to be active in your kids' life. You need to be present. After you finish watching this podcast, pick up your phone. Speak to your kids. Speak to the mother of your kids. Ensure that your kids have what they want. If you have 15 kids, call all of them. Talk to all of them. Make them say, Daddy, understand, know the sound of Daddy's voice. They will walk past the daddy on the roads. And there's a different conversation to be had in all of this, you know. How do you know that you are the daddy? Obviously, that our different conversation. What is happening for what I will call paternity fraud? That, of course, is a different conversation. But gentlemen, as I said just now, it may seem strange, it may seem funny, it may seem like it don't make no sense. But what I'm saying, our system that we have created may not go hand in hand with nature, what nature does, what nature wants. Nature wants reproduction, but we have got to a particular stage where we are now, how I saying, we're overpopulated. There are too many humans in the world. Still, the better genes should go through, and nature ensures that the better, more competitive genes go through. The more competitive genes actually go through, because those Mr. Wrongs, they are more competitive than the rest of us who decide not to be Mr. Wrongs. They are competitive. They have what it takes to pull 15, 16 baby mothers who are willing to bear their kids. Many of us are choosing to be not that way. And I appreciate those of us who decide not to be that way. This discussion was just as a thought, just something to think about. Are the bad guys really the bad guys? Or are they the one who is more efficient in getting their genes into the next generation, getting their genes in the gene pool? Are the good guys really the good guys? Or is being good just about a feeling, but it does not give you additional benefits of getting your genes into the next generation? If you're walking along the line of my discussion, along my line of reasoning, what I'm saying is, the guys who are seen as the bad guys are seen as the bad guys for a reason. They have more options, they have more choices, and they have proven that they are able to outproduce the guys who are seen as the good guys. Thank you so very much for checking out my stream today. I want to say a big up to Uncle Stu. Thank you so much for checking in. So I will be checking out your program one of these days. Honestly, here's my challenge. I am so wanting to work on myself and wanting to XYZ that. It's almost as if I feel like I'm not ready for the big stage where you're going to offer me yet. Trust me, because I know, sir, that once I get onto your platform, it is going to be something different. Am I ready for the level of attention that I'm going to be getting when I come onto your platform? You know? So I obviously appreciate to 100 to 100 your invitation, but just give me a little bit. All right? I'll be with you. Work out the thing and start out the thing. Thank you so much for checking out my Random A's podcast today. It's Mr. Nemard again. Go ahead and click the like button. Go ahead and click the comment and the subscribe. And if you want to, touch that notification bell. So when I go live, you can be one of the first person to know that Mr. Nemard is live and Mr. Nemard is chopping it up today. All right? So thank you so much for checking out my live stream today. Aha!